If artificial intelligence is supposed to save companies millions of dollars, why is it suddenly destroying brand loyalty? For years, the language learning app Duolingo had a social media presence that stood out because it felt weird, relatable, and deeply human. But recently, CEO Louis von Ahn declared an AI first company, replacing their manual, human content creation process with artificial intelligence to move faster. The backlash was swift and brutal. Consumers threatened to boycott the brand, and Duolingo lost 10 million followers overnight. Generation Z immediately rejected the new content as AI slop, uncanny, annoying, and fundamentally vacant. But this isn't just a PR mistake, it's a symptom of massive dilemma facing marketing managers right now. To understand this so-called trap, we have to look back because AI didn't just appear overnight, obviously. It started as a theoretical math in the 1930s and 40s with pioneers like Alan Turing. By 1990s, AI had evolved into kind of a statistical analysis for business. But today, there is a massive difference between traditional AI and generative AI. A lot of people actually don't know the difference, which is a little concerning. Traditional AI is the invisible engine that analyzes data and stuff, but generative AI, however, actually tries to create the ads itself. And that shift from analysis to synthetic creation changes absolutely everything. In 2026, the role of marketing manager has shifted drastically because generative AI can now handle repetitive and tedious tasks like drafting hundreds of email variations or analyzing massive annoying spreadsheets. Managers are getting up to 40% of their operational time back. Consequently, their job has evolved from supervising daily content creation to making just huge strategic choices and acting as high-level risk accessors. It boils down to one critical decision: augmentation versus substitution. If a manager uses AI to substitute human workers just to save overhead costs, they step right into a trap. First, they risk severe reputational damage by handing the brand's voice over to an unmonitored algorithm that is prone to built-in biases, but strategically, they risk something even worse: what industry experts call the grand equalization. Because generative AI models are trained exclusively on already existing historical data, they naturally regress to the mean. If you fire your human artists and replace them with AI, your brand's creative divergence dropped by up to 40%, which is huge. Suddenly, your marketing materials look and sound exactly like your competitors. Everything is the same. You lose your unique identity, and true innovation is completely stifled. To survive this era, managers must build hybrid teams where human creatives act as visionary directors, and AI maybe serves merely as the execution engine. If brands want to win, they must use AI to augment their human innovators, not replace them. And the cost of getting this wrong aren't just creative, they are incredibly destructive to the planet also. Generating a single AI image consumes as much energy as charging a smartphone halfway. If a retail brand uses generative AI to automate like a massive campaign of 300,000 ad variations, that alone can emit over 50 tons of CO2, the equivalent of 30 round-trip flights between Paris and New York. Even a short brainstorming session of like 20 to 50 prompts, I think, uses half a liter of fresh water to cool the massive data centers. Plus, there's the massive ethical problem of copyright. AI models are constantly trained on human art without permission. That's exactly why the European Parliament is stepping in, forcing these companies to reveal exactly where they got their data. This brings us to the ultimate philosophy of art. As J.F. Martel points out, there is a fundamental difference between true art and artifice. Artifice is utilitarian. It just conveys information like a stop sign or a standard like advertisement. True art, however, expresses the mystery of existence and is born of human astonishment and feelings. AI cannot express astonishment because it doesn't experience life. The era of artificial intelligence is surely here, but businesses must use it to increase human creativity, not replace it. Marketers must protect the human brain at the core of the creative process.